For over a year, the Marvel Universe witnessed something many thought was impossible. Norman Osborn, the man who spent decades systematically destroying Peter Parker's life, was actually trying to be a hero. As the Gold Goblin, Norman sought to atone for his mountain of sins, and Peter, in an act of nearly divine forgiveness, was right there to help him. They became partners, even friends. But in the world of Spider-Man, the past is a ghost that never stops haunting the present. In this milestone 50th issue, that ghost finally catches up, and the price of redemption is paid in blood and madness. The story opens with a heavy, suffocating atmosphere of dread. The living brain, a machine of pure cold logic, has reached a terrifying conclusion. It has calculated the return of the Green Goblin not as a possibility, but as a mathematical certainty. Peter Parker is on high alert, his spider sense constantly humming at the edge of his consciousness. He watches Norman like a hawk, hoping against hope that the man he's come to trust won't vanish beneath the waves of his own dark history. But the sins of the Green Goblin are more than just memories. They are a sentient physical weight, and they have finally found a way back into the world. Deep within the shadows of Oscorp, a dark ritual is unfolding. The sins of the Goblin, which were once purged from Norman's soul, have been gathered and condensed into a ritualistic spear. This isn't just a psychological break for Norman, it is a targeted, supernatural assault. Norman is at his lowest point, physically and mentally exhausted from the struggle of being good. He is haunted by the faces of those he killed, and the darkness is calling out to him, promising the strength and the cruelty he needs to stop feeling the pain of his guilt. Peter finds Norman in the depths of the laboratory, and the tension is electric. Peter is desperate to save the man Norman has become. He believes that if Norman can stay reformed, then perhaps Peter's own tragedies, the death of Gwen, the years of torment, might finally mean something. He fights with every ounce of his strength to keep the darkness away from Norman. But the sins are hungry for a host. They don't just want Norman Osborn. They want a vessel powerful enough to carry their absolute malice. As the confrontation reaches its breaking point, the spear is plunged. In a moment of pure selfless responsibility, Peter Parker does the unthinkable to prevent Norman from reverting to the monster he used to be. Peter throws himself into the path of the transformation. He decides to take the burden of the Goblin's sins upon himself. He believes that his will, forged through years of loss and heroism, is strong enough to contain the evil that wants to find the Green Goblin. He believes he can be the cage for Norman's demons. He was wrong. The transformation is immediate and visceral. The sins don't just sit inside Peter. They begin to rewrite him from the inside out. They take his incredible power, his agility, and his genius, and they drench them in the sadistic, cackling glee of the Goblin. The iconic red and blue suit, a symbol of hope for the entire city, begins to look like a shroud. Peter's movements change, becoming jagged and predatory. The wisdom of great responsibility is drowned out by the overwhelming urge to destroy. As the issue reaches its haunting conclusion, we see the birth of the Spider-Goblin. Peter Parker, the man who always does the right thing, has finally broken. The most dangerous villain in the Marvel Universe isn't Norman Osborn anymore. It is a Spider-Man who has lost his conscience and gained the madness of his greatest enemy. As Peter looks into the glass, he doesn't see a hero. He sees a predator with a jagged, familiar grin. Norman Osborn is finally free of his sins, but he has lost the only friend he had, and the city has lost its greatest protector. The tragedy is complete, and a new era of terror has begun.